Welcome back to South Coast Radio, and today we are heading down to the garden route to meet an artist whose sound brings together different worlds such as hip hop, afro pop, and jazz influences, creating something that is both modern and distinctive. Born in George and raised in Mossel Bay, Lix discovered his voice through the church choir before eventually finding his way into hip hop and developing his own unique musical identity.
Mhm.
Now he is continuing that journey with his latest song called Imali. So let's welcome to the show Lix. Welcome to South Coast Radio. It's great to have you with us. How are you doing?
Um, uh, Thank you for having me, and thank you to the listeners. I'm doing very well. And you?
I'm good, thanks. It's really great to have you with us on the show, Lix. So let's start right at the beginning. You were born in George and later moved to Mossel Bay. What was it about growing up in that part of the garden route that influenced the person and artist you would eventually become?
Oh, well, listening to the great sounds the people around this area used to play back in the days as I was growing up. And also, as you said before, uh, church influence played a huge role in me developing this specific sound that I'm using right now,
Uh-huh.
which I infused with my hip hop music to make it like a distinctive sound. So I would say the environment here played a huge role in the artist that I grew up to be. And the influences like the local rappers who were here before I was doing my thing in the hip hop space, they also played a huge role in developing the kind of person, I mean, the kind of artist I am.
Awesome, Lex. And you actually started singing in a church choir like we just spoke a moment ago when you were young. What do you remember about those early days and how did being part of the choir help you develop your voice?
Okay. First of all, being able to sing was a thing I developed way before I knew that I could even sing myself. I mean, that means I was very young, uh, in a household where my family used to sing a lot. We would sit around the fire sometimes and we'd just compose songs out of the blue, just out of nowhere. We make these songs, and even me and my cousins, while growing up, we formed our little gospel group that we used to compose songs. That's how the love of composing started,
Wow.
actually. So when it got to church, it felt natural when I got there and I had to sing. Being on stage, I had to learn that part because I wasn't used to being on stage. But as the more I did it, the more I got used to it until I developed now a love for a different genre.
Wow, that's fantastic, Lex. So, at some point, you moved from those choir influences into hip hop. What was it about hip hop that grabbed your attention and made you want to start creating music yourself?
Okay, when it comes to hip hop, it was mainly because of the Kwaito influence that was very huge in those days. Um, so now, when I heard my first favorite rappers, which were your Pro Kids, your Proverbs, all those Mzansi rappers who were doing it big back in those days, it felt as if they had something to say, and I was learning so much from them. Out of listening from a 3 minute song, I could learn so much from them, and I always tell people that growing up without a father, hip hop played a fatherhood role in my life in terms of teaching me now. how I should, as a man, how I should behave. Yeah, there are maybe some not so positive influences sometimes, but there are those good songs that tell you to how to behave as a man and how you should look at the world. So to me, it felt as if okay, hip hop was the only music that said things exactly as they are. You know, they didn't try to cover up a lot of things and try to be poetic about a lot of things. They
Yes.
told things as they are. So to me, that's what attracted me to hip hop.
Fantastic, Lex. So you also drew inspiration from artists around you in Kwanongkaba as well as mainstream artists. How important was your local community in helping you discover your own sound?
Okay, like from writing, you see, that's Kwanangaba is where I started writing. That's where I learned how to write because of those rappers who had came before me, who were like living here in the township, and then they helped me develop a skill which I thought I didn't know. And also with the mainstream local SA hip hop artists, they told me the image. I saw from them the image of how this is how a rapper should present themselves, and I looked up to them because of that, and because of what they were saying in their music, of course.
That's really great stuff, Lex. So your music doesn't sit comfortably inside just one genre. You've managed to combine hip hop with Afro pop and jazzy sounds. Where does that versatility come from, and how would you describe the Lex sound to somebody hearing you for the first time?
Okay, as I mentioned before, like I grew up in a family where singing was like sort of a tradition or a norm.
Yes.
So that influence I grew up with, and when I got into hip hop space, I used to also listen um, to rappers when they had those vocalists in their choruses, and instead of sticking to that rapping part, I'd also gravitated towards the choruses and how they constructed the choruses and how they sang them. You see,
Yeah.
so to me, the whole package to me was a thing. It's okay, I want to do this, all of it. Hence, in a lot of my songs, I don't feature people. I do my own raps, and I also I do my own choruses. I mean, I do my own vocals in my choruses, even though I do love to work with other people. So, moving to other genres, it made it easier now because I'd had all this practice while learning constructing my own choruses, uh, being a vocalist and a rapper at the same time. So,
Yeah.
and also R&B and Afro pop and Afro soul has always been my favorite music. Also, growing up in the location, we'd listen to a lot of those, and I had friends and family who would share a lot of music together. So that's where the influence comes from, fusing these genres.
Fantastic, Lex. So let's talk about your latest song, Imali. Can you tell us about the song and what inspired it, and what does Imali mean to you personally?
Okay. Imali okay, is money in English.
Yes.
So Imali is what we live by. We get up every morning, we sleep late at night because of Imali. So
Hmm.
the topic to me wasn't very difficult to sing about because really we all need Imali,
True.
and we should all work towards obtaining Imali. So that was the drive. To me, the song is a manifestation of a dream that I still have to this day. With I want that money. You see, if you listen to the lyrics, I say, I want the money, I want the lavish life, and I want the honeys. But I want the money and the lavish life is the two lines that are very important. So that's what drove the song. that's what drove me to be able to write a song and to share it with people.
Great stuff, Lex. Now, when somebody listens to Imali for the first time, what do you hope they take away from the song?
Okay, from the song, I hope people they get to take away the fact that they should be able and be willing to get up every day and go fight for their dreams and make their money. Because as it is right now, we all need it,
Yeah.
and it's what makes the world go round, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to find that motivation to make that money, to get up every morning and to sleep late at night if needs be, in order to reach our dreams and to become the kind of people we want to be.
Great stuff, Lex. Now, when you're creating a song, what normally comes first for you? Is it perhaps maybe the lyrics or the beats, a melody, or simply an idea that you want to express?
Um, Usually, it's an idea that comes first, and then I work on the lyrics. And usually, sometimes I can have this idea of a song, and then the lyrics they take another turn, and then I decide, okay, let me focus on this path that I'm going on. So, yeah, the idea is important too, but it, the lyrics are the first thing that I also I always put my mind on when it comes to the process.
Awesome, Lex. Now, okay, so you've already developed a sound that can appeal to different generations. Where do you see yourself taking your music from here? And are there any artists or producers you'd love to work with in the future?
Um, yes, okay. Let me first answer this one. When it comes to taking this sound anywhere I'd want it to be, I want it to go like international, like I want it to be a sound that identifies with everyone. Yeah. So I want the world to like to hear my songs, and even if maybe sometimes they don't get the language, but if the language doesn't reach them, at least the melodies must reach them, you see. And then some of the producers I would love to work with, there's a lot, man. There's a lot. I see there's about Mesh Beats and Zushi Coke Dope, these new generation producers. I'd love to work with them. About Raf of the ATM crew who's working with MT and those guys. But I want to keep it local, you see, when it comes to the production side of my music,
Yeah.
even though my dream is to reach the international stages.
Great stuff, Lex. So finally, for everyone listening right now who wants to discover Lex and your music, where can they find Imali, and how can they keep up with what you're working on next?
Okay. Um, on the 31st of July, I dropped an EP. I released an EP, which consists of 6 songs, and Imali is one of the songs that is in that EP. The EP itself is titled Imali. So Imali is the title, is the leading single
Yeah.
from the EP. So we are pushing very well right now, and people can find it in all music streaming platforms. I'm talking your Spotify, your YouTube's, your Tidal, Apple Music, Deezer, and all other streaming platforms. So we currently focused on that and making sure that we bring as many people as possible to hearing and enjoying our sounds. On social media, I'm also available. I'm Leaks on TikTok, on Instagram. I am leaks.rsa. On Facebook, it's leaks RSA. So I'm available and active, and I would love to engage with everyone.
Fantastic, Lix. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us on South Coast Radio. I mean, from George and Muscle Bay through the church choir and into hip hop, you've taken all those different influences and turned them into something that is uniquely your own. And
Yes,
also,
that was the. So we can go on.
I was meant to say congratulations on your new single and the EP called Imali, and we wish you all the best as you continue growing your music and reaching new audiences.
Okay, thank you, and thank you to the listeners as well. I hope they enjoy the journey with us. So I'm inviting them now to please come and join us in making
That's really great stuff, Leaks. And to the listeners, make sure you go and check out Leaks and his latest single, which is called Imali, streaming on all major platforms. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.